Hello, welcome to the Hutchinson Veterans Outreach Program. My name is Lisa Dittel, and today we have with us Cassidy, Nicole, and Kelly, and I'll let them pronounce your last names because I'm really bad at last names.
My last name is Vanderlinde.
My last, go ahead, you go.
Nicole Peterson.
I'm Kelly Zemer.
And today we are here to talk to you about cats. All kinds of different cats, from baby cats that have a little bit of an issue, and strays and rescues. Our community seems to be having a little bit of a problem with a lot of strays and a lot of rescues lately, and they could really use some help. So we're looking at asking the veterans to pitch in wherever they can, whether it be dollars and funds or times and action.
Yeah. So my name's Kelly. I started doing cat rescue probably about 9 months ago, and I just kind of kept running into animals that I kept seeing, and main thing I do is I'll take a picture of it, I'll see if it belongs to anybody, and kind of go from there. Some of them need to be trapped and relocated. Some of them are, sometimes we find kittens, sometimes we find strays. Some people have lost kittens, cats, and then there's feral cats that nobody kind of wants to deal with. So there's a lot of different ways that we help.
So what's the main difference between a feral cat and a stray cat?
I usually call them unsocialized cats, not like feral cats. They generally don't like humans. They won't come up to you. They'll run away. And you probably don't want to try and just like run and pick them up or something. You might get scratched up a bit, but that's why we have cat
gloves. Exactly.
Yes.
Gloves are helpful.
Because cats are very different than dogs. Like puppies are generally domesticated from birth. Kittens are not. So if they are not socialized and domesticated by about 10 to 12 weeks of age, then they're probably just going to be unsocial to humans for the rest of their life, which is totally fine. It's like a wild animal living out in the wild. You just kind of let it be and let it live its life. But they are domestic animals. They weren't bred. They were bred to be indoors, so they do need our help.
Exactly.
Well, some strays may act like they're feral if
Right.
they've been outside for a long time. So you got to kind of figure out if they are truly feral or if they're
Sometimes you take them
somebody's
in your
cats.
house, and after like a couple days, they are just the sweetest things in the world. It's crazy. Some of them are just really terrified. It's not that they want to kill you; they're just scared.
Very scared. Well, I always say too, like if my cat got out and someone caught my cat in a live trap, she would probably act feral. She would probably try to scratch you, hiss at you, growl at you, which makes it really hard to determine if they're stray or feral. So,
I think that happens when you put anything in a cage.
right. I might
I
get like
do
that.
that.
Well, I mean, I would get feral in a cage as well, I think.
And we're talking about live traps. This is like one of the live traps here that we use. So,
So usually we'll get a call and someone will say, we need help, there's a cat. A lot of times, I can't hold cats in my possession. I live in an apartment, and so I run into issues. I find cats, I can trap them, I can transport them, I can get them the care they need. But it sort of ends up being, where am I going to put this cat to assess if it is feral or if it's stray, if it's injured. And so in the last few months, I've been reaching out to different rescues, different organizations that are able to help, whether it be financing with vet care, whether it be a rescue taking a cat in for us. But if there's a lot of work behind the scenes that goes on, I think a lot of people will call and be like, here, I have a cat, take it. And we bust our butts to make these cats get to safe places. So
And this is not a free service. You take money out of your own pocket.
yes. Sometimes we can
gas
raise money and get donations. A lot of times if we say we have someone transporting, can anybody donate towards gas? A lot of times I've had Nicole transport some cats for me, and I'm like, here's $40. So people will donate to me, and then I send it over to her, because we are just doing it out of the kindness of our hearts. We're animal lovers, compassionate. I'm a firm believer, if you see something, to say something, not just turn a blind eye and be like, oh, look, that cat looks hurt and lost, and walk away. Like, as humans, we have to do more. With
And
every,
better.
yeah, and better. Yeah.
There's websites and phone numbers that they'll post at the end that you can,
Exactly.
use to get help.
Exactly. Now, when somebody calls and says, okay, I have a cat, what do you do? What's maybe the first couple of things that you would do?
I first ask questions.
Okay.
Like, where did you find the cat? What condition is the cat in? Is there any way to trap the cat, try and catch it? Do you think it could be a neighbor's cat? Do you think it could be a pet cat? Is it friendly, not friendly? We kind of need to know what kind of equipment do we need to, I have a microchip scanner at home.
Okay.
Right
Nice.
there.
Microchip scanner.
Because a lot of people microchip their pets, and hopefully we can get it back to their owner if it is somebody's pet. If not, then it will probably go into rescue, but it's always best to get them back to their home.
Oh,
If they
okay.
don't have a scanner, they can take it to any vet for free
Yes.
to get it scanned to see if it is somebody's pet.
Okay.
So
Okay. So then do you just go on to as a single person and with all these traps and try to get a hold of the cat, or?
Well, usually what I will do is kind of ask, when do you normally see the cat? Because cats tend to feed at a certain amount of time, usually around like the evening. And yeah, we'll make a plan. I'll come over there with usually a couple live traps, and obviously I do need help. I do need the people's help. I cannot just go there, take all your
Set your
problems
trap.
away.
And try to take a cat.
Right.
And chances are if I'm not mistaken, if there's one cat, there probably is more.
Yes, definitely. We always check once we catch a cat, gender, especially if it's a female. You want to see if they're producing milk. That means they probably have some little tiny kittens hiding somewhere.
Exactly.
And we try to find them.
Yeah.
And take the mom from the babies. Sometimes we can take the babies from the mom.
Yes.
To keep the babies into safety. Cassidy is really more with the baby stuff.
Yeah.
I haven't dealt with the kittens much, but good to have resources and we can call on her. Or there's a lot of other places like you want to list like
Bitty
Oh, we
kitties.
will be definitely putting a list up at the
list
end.
them. Yeah, we'll list at the end. Okay.
What I have right now, I'm helping a lady find her cat, Loki. It's been missing for a week, so we have live traps out, and I have her monitor them. But we've caught a random cat recently, and so I'm making an appointment for the Animal Humane Society for a surrender, so that cat can get rescued. So, and it's very friendly. So, I'm not sure whose cat it is. We
Unfortunately, a
posted
lot of
it.
people do dump their animals. I have seen that firsthand. I had to put up cameras around my house because since I run a rescue, people think, oh, you're the rescue lady. You're supposed to take all these animals. It's like, well, I try my best, but I do also have to have room for the animals. I have to pay for the animals. I have to. So I've had people drop off kittens at my doorstep in carriers. I once had one person come to my house in the middle of the night. I have a fenced-in backyard. They opened the fence, put 2 dogs in there, and then closed it and left. I woke up and there were 2 random dogs in my backyard.
Oh, no.
That is not cool. Just so
No,
we're clear.
definitely.
Yeah.
Okay, so if somebody has a cat or a dog that they can no longer keep,
Yes.
what would your suggestion be for them?
Make a surrender appointment with the Humane Society or a rescue.
Yes, or a rescue. Call around to a lot of rescues. You're probably going to have to, don't just call one rescue and they'll say, oh, maybe we can get to it in a couple weeks, because it will take time. You cannot put us in this situation where I have to surrender this animal today. It's like,
It doesn't work that way.
take
There's
weeks
waiting
and
lists.
months.
it takes, you have to give us the time to felicitate all the stuff, a foster home, everything we need, the food, the medical supplies for this animal. And so I would call many different rescues and shelters and get on their waiting list. And eventually one will call you back, and I just wouldn't just call one.
Exactly.
We have a
How
list
many?
of like 50 or so that we can.
Yeah, there's a list of the rescues. It's found on a Facebook group. It's called Minnesota Cats in Danger. Wasn't there another, like, there's another website that has a list of it, but basically it gives you the email address and the phone numbers of all the rescues. Some of them are specific towards kittens, some of them are specific towards maybe feral or strays, but you just kind of got to find the resources, and we'll provide those links at the end here, but there's a lot that we need help with on the back end too, not just like, here's a cat, help it.
Well, and the other thing is, if it's a feral and you're okay with it living there, but you don't want to multiply it, having lots more babies, we can TNR them, which is trap, and then we neuter and spay them, and then we return them to wherever they were living.
So that TNR, you'll see that a lot. That's kind of come up a lot in social media. It's T is for trap, the N is for the neuter or the spay, and then R would be relocate or release them. So we do like to, a lot of them, a lot of places in the cities, they have colonies of cats that, like 100 cats under I-35 highway, and so they work on, we can't socialize these cats, but we're gonna make sure they stop repopulating, and so they trap, fix them, and then they release them, and so it's helping in the long run to stop the population of unwanted cats.
And a lot of times here, I think some people just believe that, well, it's a cat, so it knows how to hunt.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, no, it's a domestic animal that's never had to go out and hunt before.
And usually they're misplaced.
Mhm.
Right.
So the reason that I'm asking all these questions is because we have a lot of veterans out there, and I know we have a lot of veterans that have time. If they have time, how can they help?
Give us a call.
Well, I know
there's-
you guys
there's
are
lots
extremely
of
busy.
things that you can do. I mean, it just depends upon their availability, what they are willing/able to do. They could foster.
Foster.
That is always so much fun, having little tiny kittens running around, and you can certainly, if you're feeling up to it, go on a TNR project. That is always very fun and exciting.
Oh, yeah.
I love showing people how to do that, and you can also use that in your daily life. I like to teach as many people as I can to TNR, because then they will just go help out random family members and people down the street that they saw a cat running around.
So wanting to,
And get resources.
yeah, the resources. Well, and two, so if there's veterans, one thing that I need help with personally in the Hutchinson area, I am able to trap the cats. So I find cats everywhere. I can trap them, I can transport them, I can set up the appointments. Sometimes I need help with transport because I work full time. And so finding somebody that would maybe be able to transport a cat from Hutchinson to the Animal Humane Society down in the cities. There's 3 different locations, Woodbury, Golden Valley, and Coon Rapids. But they do the TNR programs for free for these feral cats.
So we need, somebody to take them down there and then pick them back up after they get
Transport and then
neutered and spayed.
temp housing. So when I trap a cat, I need somewhere for it to go to check it out. I know a lot of people I know have their own pets and their own cats, and their husbands say, no, you can't have another cat, and not even to put it in the garage. So looking for people that maybe would open up their home. I found a lot of healing in finding these unwanted cats that nobody wants. They seem lost, they're scared, and I really think that me helping them has helped me. And I feel like some veterans maybe could gain something from caring and helping a lost soul as well.
And we can also help with just holding the cat for a few days while after we catch it. We have to hold it until our appointments of either neutering, spaying, or
Going into a rescue.
Right.
So we got the wait list for
So
rescue.
We can't hold them because we live in apartments, but maybe you can hold them until we can get them into where they need to go. Because once you catch them, if you release them again, it's hard to catch them again.
I don't want to go back in that trap
So,
again.
No.
I've had a
also-
lot of people that they do find it. I know that a lot of veterans struggle with mental health. I do have some of my own as well, and just it gives me purpose in life to just help helpless things.
Exactly.
It gives me something to wake up for every day in the morning. Otherwise, I would probably just lay in bed and sulk all day. But knowing that they need me, that I
Yes.
can do something to help them, and I would like to, and we can help you find a way to accomplish that for yourself. It's not, you don't have to own a rescue. You can be a normal person and you can help animals.
In any capacity.
Right.
Any capacity.
Exactly.
Whether small or big, it's, we can help you figure that out. And also, if you have any coolers like this, we
Yes.
use them for cats in the winter. We cut holes in them and put straw in them, and then the cats don't freeze to death over the winter. So if you have any coolers that are like 40 gallons or quarts or more, let us know. We'll collect those. Feline Rescue does, and we collect them for the different places around here, anybody that needs them. So
Fostering, that's a big thing. Yeah, so
That's-
fostering does not cost you money.
Yes. And the rescues all take care of all of the
Litter,
supplies,
food,
litter,
cage.
food, anything you need. You just offer the love. Just pet them every day. You get all the fun parts. It's wonderful.
And cleaning litter boxes, and
Yeah.
there's always scooping, but that's something that, and make sure that is
But
something.
one or two
if
cats is not bad.
Yeah, 1 or 2 cats.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just
A good way that I usually tell people to just keep a cat contained just for a very short period of time. Because a lot of people, especially if it's a feral cat, you don't want to let it loose in your house. Big metal dog crates, like
Really?
extra large ones.
Okay.
You can put just like a little small litter box. You can use any kind of small, short container, little food bowl, little water bowl, and maybe a little place to hide. You could use a cardboard box and just keep them in there just so they're contained until you can find rescue or act, whatever else you need.
So what kind of, would you suggest feeding them right away? What kind of food would you feed them?
Unless they're little tiny babies, as long as it's cat food, it really does not matter. I usually just
So
fill.
dry or wet cat food
I
doesn't
would
matter?
it doesn't matter. I just leave their bowl full,
Okay.
and their water, and
So it's
just,
open feet.
just kind of leave them alone because they need time to decompress. They're very scared, and they might get a little scratchy. So we just need to give them some time. Obviously, it's a very scary thing to be taken from your home and put in a cage.
Well, exactly.
So-
Exactly.
well, and if they're quite small or they look like they've been out there a while and haven't eaten much, wet food's probably better than
Yes.
hard food.
If you see a pregnant cat out there, if you see a mama cat that looks pregnant, please call a rescue. Please call a shelter. Get that cat into a rescue before it has its kittens outside, because that's a whole nother can of worms that takes a long time to catch the mom, to catch the kittens, and then find spots for another 7 kittens in each litter, I do know a rescue that I think on Facebook they took in like 150 kittens in the last month. So that's
Kitten season.
one rescue though. That's how many unwanted kittens that we could have stopped as humans to say, oh, pregnant cat, or before they get pregnant, let's get them fixed,
Yes.
let's spay them.
And it'll stop the boys from roaming too if you,
Yes. That too, if your cat's inside meowing like crazy, making the craziest sounds, they're probably in heat, and if you let them outside, they will go find a mate, and then you're gonna have to deal with kittens. So, as annoying as they are meowing at your door, it's more annoying to have 7 kittens running around the neighborhood and having to
And then
try
you
to,
guys have
and then
to
we have to
find
track
them.
them down. So,
Because like I
Let's
said,
help. Yeah.
this isn't just your guys' problem.
no.
This is a community issue.
Yeah, I think
And-
I've had a lot of people that have not been very nice, and you do have to realize that I try my best. I'm not God.
Right.
I try to save as many animals as I can, but I'm not going to sell my car just so I can afford to save
Someone else's.
animals.
And
I
you
Dump
can't
cats.
because you need to transport
I
them.
can't do that. Like,
Yeah.
I do also need to. There's a lot of people who kind of actually get mad at me and kind of yell at me because
Sad.
I'm not able to take their cat or their dog. And I'm like, well, you expect me to take your dog, get them fixed, get them vaccinated, deal with their behavioral issues, rehome them, and you're not willing to help in any way or
Anyway.
put in any money.
Come
to
get
help
my
it.
dog.
You're
Like-
basically just like, this is a favor that we're doing
Right.
for the community, and so maybe just be nice to us. We are people too. We have feelings. It can be a very sad job. It's not just playing with kittens and puppies all day. We do see a lot of very sad abuse and neglect and a lot of death. And so it can be very hard on us.
Very.
And thank you for bringing that up because, I mean, I believe that anybody who works with animals of any sort, especially volunteering, I mean, you're doing that your own time, your own effort. A lot of it is your own money, from vet bills to cat food, and these are not your responsible animals.
Right.
So yes, that is definitely, be nice to the animal workers because they deserve a little bit.
Right.
Yeah, we don't
You
have
guys
any.
work hard.
We don't get any income from anything. We spend all our money.
The reason we do it is because I feel like we're compassionate, kind people that have a special place in our hearts for
Look at that pumpkin. How
the
cute.
animals that have been misplaced. They're unwanted. They've been dumped. I know for Bell Farm we'll say garbage cats because we literally find cats in dumpsters and nobody wants them. They're like, I'm going to throw it away. Can't imagine how many times a week that litters of kittens are found in dumpsters. I know up in Fertile, one of my friends, Sid at Smiley's Rescue, she just took in a dog that was tied up to a telephone pole in the middle of nowhere. It was a mama that had been bred, and now they have the puppies that they're going to sell, and they left the mama out in the middle of nowhere in the hot sun to fend for herself, tied up.
food, no water.
No food, no water.
They just left
And-
her there to die, not to
Yeah,
fend
she
for
just
herself.
left her to die because they're done. They're not disposable. Like, they really aren't.
Now, there's one other thing I wanted to ask, because we have a lot of farmers on here, a lot of people who garden. Can that help? I mean, from my understanding, cats can eat pumpkin,
Oh, we can.
They could.
or I don't know
They
what
make
other
soup
kind
out of
of,
the pumpkin
Yeah.
at Furbo
So I
Farm.
started
just
recently doing a
to
soup.
raise one or two. I mean, I put in 2 pumpkin plants once. I ended up with 14 pumpkins.
So
I'm
some
a big
ways,
person, I don't need 14
Yeah.
pumpkins. So,
Could donate.
you know,
that's a good idea to get, because I think we had maybe talked about that. Like, if we do know somebody that gardens, Lisa, I think you said you can. Or you know how to do
yep,
canning.
I know how to do
So
canning.
to find resources where maybe we find a veteran that does garden and can some pumpkin, and that could be distributed amongst the rescuers that do make. There's a soup what we make. It's lysine, it's wet food, some pumpkin, and then if there's a medication, you put that in there too, along with some water, because a lot of outdoor cats are dehydrated because they don't get enough water.
Pumpkin really helps with diarrhea and digestive
Digestion,
issues.
yes.
So that's why we use the canned pumpkin.
It's
It
not
just
like-
has to be organic, can't have artificial sugars in it. Obviously, that is toxic to animals, but
Which would be kind of neat if Lisa could get some
yeah.
fresh garden canned
I
pumpkin.
think they would love it.
I think that might be a really great idea. So that's another way if you want to help. I think we're going to have so many
Or
different
just
ways
some
and
extra
ideas.
cat food sitting around.
Oh, exactly.
Some canned fish. Like we use that all the time with TNR. Just anything that doesn't have to be, it just be some stuff that you have lying around.
That's what people do. They can fish.
Like you have
Sardines.
some
People
extra.
would maybe can
tuna.
sardine. Yeah. Oh
People
yeah.
have just like some old ones
Yeah.
sitting in their
And yeah, to donate.
yeah. Just it doesn't have to be crazy stuff, crazy
Yeah.
expensive or anything. Just small things.
Because that helps a lot when we set the live traps. So a lot of times we'll trap train, where you leave the trap open and you put the food in there to get the cats used to going in. So they go in and they don't get trapped. And then the day that you're going to trap, you set the trap. And then we usually use some tuna and like make it super smelly so they want to come in.
For hot fried chicken.
Or some hot fried
They
chicken.
like
Fried
that too.
chicken.
Kentucky Fried
Or
Chicken,
even-
quick trip.
Oh, exactly. I know one of the other things we had talked about, you guys need blankets
Yes.
to cover the traps.
Sheets.
Towels, big towels.
If you're out
obviously.
garage sailing and you see little baby blankets, those help inside cat carriers for when we're transporting.
You can usually get them for $1
Yeah.
and 50
Yeah,
cents.
Nicole
Like
came and
that.
brought me a bunch.
Goodwill, wholesale.
Mhm.
And you
Love
can
it.
gather them up and bring them to
Yeah.
one of the cat rescue places.
Absolutely.
And if they want to donate finances, I can pick them up at garage sales
Yes.
and then distribute them to wherever they need to go.
Yeah,
So
if you got an
I've
extra
done
10
that.
bucks, hand it to Nicole and she'll go find $10 worth of amazing stuff.
I can get a lot for $10.
Oh, I bet.
She's
I
super
bet.
savvy and like
And
just
I like saying, do
frugal.
you want to donate? If you don't sell it, donate it to us.
good for you, see?
Yeah.
So it is just a matter of like educating and letting people know there are options and there are ways that you can help. And we kind of need your help.
Just
And I think
sweet.
not just us three,
Right.
but animal rescuers in general. There's dog people too that need help, but we mainly do the
Kinda
cat
cat
stuff.
I do dogs too,
Do
but
ya?
I just have a lot of cats right now because
Yeah.
it's kitten season.
Yeah.
Yes.
I've done pigs, goats, squirrels,
Woof.
everything.
Wow.
So I do a little bit of everything, but mainly dogs and cats. So if you need help for dogs too, there's places, there's plenty.
There's places, yeah.
But it does just seem the people that I've met doing this networking, it's like they have the biggest hearts. And I'm 43 years old and I've never felt so like happy and fulfilled in my life as I have in the last few months meeting these people that truly care about something other than themselves.
And there's a purpose.
And make a difference and there's a purpose. Absolutely. And it feels good.
Well, and I
Exactly.
started rescuing a few years ago after my mama was killed. So that was part of my way of helping me through my grief
Hoping and healing and
and trauma.
I'm so
from
sorry
that.
that happened.
So these little guys help that.
And we all the veterans know, or I should say most of the veterans know, animals help.
Yes, I just truly believe they do.
You need a connection if you're feeling lost.
You can tell them whatever you want, they're not going to tell anybody.
They listen and they're not going to talk back to you.
They're just gonna love
Probably
you.
come lick your nose.
They seem to know when you're sad or upset.
For
Exactly.
real. It's just like a beautiful union. Like I see it.
And I know this is a community problem, but I know it takes the community to get in there and start helping.
Mhm.
You know, it can't just be you three or,
Right.
you know,
Right.
you running yourselves ragged. This, and if our veterans can help, I think that's absolutely true.
Right.
I want to thank each of you for coming out, for spending the time. We will do an update, find out what's going on and how we all are doing, and if things are getting a little bit calmer.
Helpers, yeah.
Exactly. Hopefully we can get you some helpers and just some different equipment even that you could use.
Yeah. Food is always needed for donations.
Live cameras.
Live cameras, yeah. If you've got a
Yeah,
trail
trail
camera
cameras
you're
are
not
helpful.
using.
Oh, exactly.
And then
exactly.
we'll include, links and phone numbers in the
If you have
post.
a live camera that's, goes direct to your phone, we could use those,
Yeah. If you don't hunt anymore, you've got that trail cam,
right?
bring it on down. We need it.
Exactly.
Or even to borrow. I know somebody that comes from Eden Prairie with her trail cam and she'll borrow it when we need it. It'd be nice just to have one here. in town.
Thanks for having us on.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.